Whoa. They went from like selfie mode and then all of a sudden it just zoomed on my face when I pressed record. That was really weird. So I'm like at the tail end of a panic attack. Like at the part where it's like after you get done throwing up and you know that you're not throwing up anymore. It's like you're done, but you feel sweaty and clammy and gross, but you know that you're okay. You know it's not going to continue. And, oh, jeez. And I've been getting these panic attacks. I'm usually pretty good. Lately, I've been pretty good, except when I've drank a lot of caffeine, which I had today. Not like a lot, but just a little bit for my system is a lot. And the closer I get to my period, which is in a couple days, I'm gonna just be honest, the more I'm prone to anxiety and panic attacks. And the weirdest things trigger them. We have really crappy lights in our kitchen that like are fluorescent and they kind of wig out and like kind of strobe light almost. And it bothers my eyes. It makes my eyes feel weird. And so I was rushing around trying to get kids ready for bed and trying to get everything done. And my 6-year-old's talking to me about this really cool comic book he's writing. And like every time I went to the kitchen, it felt like someone was like switching the lights on and off and off, on and off. And that's what triggered me. I thought there was something wrong with me, not thinking that, oh, it's this crappy lights that are making my eyes wig out. I'm like, I'm having some sort of like stroke or something. I've never had a stroke, but that's always my go-to worry, that I'm having a stroke. And so I have these nervous tics. When I get my panic attacks, I start scratching at my left side of my face so I can know that I feel. You can't really see, my nails are kind of short, so I didn't like. I've learned to not scratch too deep, except if I'm really deep into a panic attack, and then I'm like, you'll see red marks on my face. But this one was kind of like a mild one, but I scratched my face or I slapped my face. That's what I've done more, because I've learned not to scratch because, you know, it leaves marks and it's embarrassing afterwards. And you have to explain to people when they ask, why have you been scratching your face like a wild person? Or I'm always like, I'll make this face. Not because I'm happy, it's because I'm making sure that they both are symmetrical and I'm not like, you know, like that. I don't know why strokes are such a big deal to me, or why it's like such a, like my go-to, I'm having a stroke. But that is what I'm most concerned about. That's what I feel like my panic attacks feel like. Because they also mimic what I'm afraid of. And so like my left side will go numb. And I'll dig my fingernails into, that's why I keep my nails short. Because if not, I'm going to end up hurting myself in the middle of a panic attack, just trying to calm myself, because that was like giving me reassurance, but it's also hurting me. And it gets embarrassing when you're leaving like marks, or I used to bite the inside of my cheek just to make sure I could feel the left side of my face. And that would leave, like, of course, big sores in my mouth. And then I worry about that getting infected, and then the whole cycle. Need to take a breath. So I need to do some things differently in my life. I need to change my diet, even if it's eliminating caffeine, which I definitely need to get off that. I cut it out for like a couple months, and then we got sick for like 3 months straight. It was just passing around in my family, my kids, my husband, me. It just kept on going, and like just to keep up with life, because we work from home and our jobs don't stop. It just, you have to work while you're sick too. You don't get a call in. And I know some people don't even get a call in when they have to leave for work. And that's just ridiculous, and people should be able to sit down and relax and, you know, get better. But I just lived off of caffeine. And now I'm hooked again. Hooked. I like, oh, that, that sounds like I'm clearing my throat. But I need to get off the caffeine because it's not doing me any favors. It's keeping me awake, but it's also keeping me in a state of panic and anxiety, which I'm already in an elevated state of that, and it's just making things worse. I just washed my hair today, so it's extra poofy. That's why I don't wash my hair that often, because the poofiness. I know I'm like rambling a mile a minute. I just get, like, after my panic attacks, I kind of get motor mouth. I'll start talking to myself really rapidly, just like, okay, we're catching up with life. We're just in a panic attack, but okay, we're just okay. We're just okay. We're just okay. Like over that and over again, just like a mantra. But you sound like a crazy person. But you know, probably am. We're all crazy. Good. Now I'm surrounded by dogs. They're all trying to lick me. See, she's trying to lick me, and he's trying to lick me. Ah. When I get animated, they all come over because they think, I don't know, they think that it's time to come over and get attention. I know it's been a while, and it's because life. It's because I was doing well for a while. I was doing really well. And after turning 30, and we had an event where I had to see a pet pass, like, in my hands, and it was very traumatic. And since that, it's like I've been obsessed with death. And that has not been a good place for my mind, because although I am part of religion and I do have faith, and I also have fear. I have fear that we don't absolutely know for the 100% sure that what I believe and been brought up to believe and have a testimony in, that really is going to be on the other side, and that terrifies me. And it's that anxiety. It's not a question of faith. It's just that stupid voice in my head, that self-doubt, that's like, not self-doubt, but it's just that anxiety voice that's just like, well, you don't know for sure. It's like, I don't know, I'm having a stroke for sure. Are you sure you're having a stroke? I'm pretty sure you're having a stroke. And it's like, what happens when you die? You actually have to face your death someday. And that really has always freaked me out since I was a kid. Because just the thought of leaving this earth, that all I remember, all I know is this earth. And so the fact I have to leave it someday scares me. And it makes me feel like a bad person to be afraid, because of my religion. We believe there's an afterlife, and you know, we believe that there's more than this. This definitely is just a temporary place for us to be in, and beyond the veil, there's vast, much more to this than just here. You know, I'm explaining this poorly because my brain is just 10,000 places at once. And I don't believe in editing because I'm not smart enough. I'm doing this on a phone, and who's gonna watch this? I haven't made a video in like 10 months, and I don't know. I need to be more consistent, even if it's just a way to prove that to myself that I'm making progress of some sort. And even though right now it feels like I'm going backwards because I've been having daily panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and sometimes they feel like the same thing, but I know they're completely different, that I can work past it, and I will be getting better, and I will continue to get better, and it's a work in progress, there we go, maybe. I'm not good with the phrases. I always screw them up. That I'm still human, and I still have that anxiety and panic inside of me. And I can only learn tools And unless I'm willing to take medication, which I'm not, because I'm terrified of taking medication and altering my brain, because it already feels altered enough on its own, that I probably will never get to a point where I'm past this anxiety, I'm past this panic disorder, because it'll always be a part of me until I chemically alter my brain, which I'm not ready to do, because there's a whole nother problem with that, because I have depression and I'm bipolar, so the only thing they can put me on is the antipsychotic, and it's pretty much a sedative, and I don't want to be sedated. I have too much life to live to be sedated. I have a family, and I have a job, and I have ambitions when my panic is not holding me back, and I think a sedative is just not the path I need to take. That was a hard choice to choose, because it's like I was given one option: take a sedative, or don't take a sedative and live with this. So I'm living with it because that's all I know. I used to be on antidepressants, and that helped for a minute, and then it didn't. So I'm on my own. Well, not really, like chemically wise. I'm unmedicated, is what I'm saying, and I'm rambling. So I'm gonna end this, but I'm back, and things will get better. I think that's what I used to say. I'll be back again. I'll try. Maybe. No promises, but thanks for watching. And if you made this through the end of this ramble that I just went on, I don't even remember what I mentioned, because I was just coming off a panic attack, and it all just came out. Hope it made sense. I hope something did something.